We need to build a wall, and it has to be built quickly.
It is 9:06 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. My name is Chris Hand. Hey, how are you? Show's brought to you by our friends at Better Water LLC, water filtration systems, water softeners, betterwater.com. So can I tell you guys what I do every morning? You want to know what I do every single morning? Do you know who the first person is to like the YouTube show? It's Matt Murphy. I've been waiting for Matt Murphy to realize that he goes into his YouTube history and all of his likes of the Chris Hand Show, but he hasn't noticed. And I'm going to keep doing it because he leaves himself logged into Google Chrome every morning. And I do know that he likes the show. So I feel like I'm doing him a service.
So wait a minute. Just because he watches it, does that mean he likes it?
Well, he likes it all right.
Come on.
I see the like right here.
Oh, I see. Okay.
I'm pumping up the numbers. Thanks, Matt.
Very nice of him.
Appreciate you.
Yeah.
If he wants to, he can like his show. I go in and like his show occasionally. Sometimes I like his show. Sometimes. Yes, he had a banger of a show yesterday. Marsha Blackburn was on. She really danced around that January 6th question, did she not? You know, it's funny. When I first started here, one of the things I did was I met with Marsha Blackburn's comms guy. It was me and Mac Morey. And we were a little bit bummed. We thought he was going to buy us breakfast. He didn't buy us breakfast. I thought that was a mess up. But anyway, we said to him, a lot of the audience is still upset with Marsha. This is like a year and a half ago. We said a lot of the audience is still upset with Marsha over the January 6th certification process. And he went, really? And he was surprised to hear that. He was shocked. And it seems like they're still dodging it. I don't understand why. I really wish that Marsha Blackburn would give more of an answer than she gave yesterday. But she didn't. She didn't at all. And John Rose on my show said that was the biggest differentiator between him and Marsha Blackburn when it comes to who's more conservative. So that's where we're at today. A lot of the audience was not impressed with John Rose's answers on marijuana legalization, whether it be recreational or medicinal. A lot of the audience was really turned off by that. I had comments saying, wow, that just tanked Rose's governor run. And I don't know, man. It would have been something for him to come out in favor of it. I don't think Marsha Blackburn's going to come out in favor of it, but I do think that would have been a huge differentiator for John Rose. A lot of other individuals were asking about John and his wife and the age difference, and I was seeing those questions in the aftermath of the interview, and I do apologize. Had I known that was a topic, I would have absolutely asked John Rose, and shout out to Dan Mandis for asking that question this morning. And John had a good answer, and I don't think it's as big of an issue as some individuals are making it. They're trying to make John out to be a groomer of some sort, and I just don't see that as the case. After a decade and a half of marriage, 2 kids, I think that ship has sailed. That's just me. If you have any disagreement, you're welcome to join the show. Turn the monologue into a dialogue. Full Matt Murphy, 615-737-9986. 615-737-9986. Now, we had a lot of interviews on the show yesterday, and what that did was it really kind of preempted a lot of the news of the day. We really stayed local with Jody Barrett and John Rose, and if you missed those interviews, I thought they were great. I thought Jody was awesome. I don't know if you know this. Jody Barrett's running for Mark Green's congressional seat. I haven't had many interviews with a guy as open and honest about everything as Jody Barrett. and he was willing to answer any question. He was willing to answer your questions. John Rose was too. Both those interviews are now online on our YouTube page. You're welcome to go back and rewatch those, and we suggest that you do. That way you can learn more about these candidates, should you be in the district for Jody Barrett, or should you want to learn more about John Rose in the governor's race. They're up there for you, and both of them were more than happy to answer your questions, which I thought was fantastic. I really do. And moving forward, if a politician wants to run for office and they want to come on my show, we're not going to let it happen unless they are willing to take your questions directly for at least half of the segment. Like just plain and simple. If you're running for office and you want the people of Tennessee to vote for you, you have to be willing to answer their questions directly. And I thought you guys did an awesome job with John Rose and Jody Barrett yesterday. This audience is always far smarter than I am, and I love crowdsourcing questions from different angles and different perspectives. We couldn't do it without you. You're the fourth man in the crew. We always have Mason. We always either have Joan or Ken in the newsroom, and you guys are the most important aspect of the show. So thank you for making those interviews as great as they were. We really do appreciate it, and thank you for always listening to the show, wherever you're listening, whether it's on iHeartRadio, TuneIn, the FM dial, whether you're watching the show on Super Talk TV, on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, and Rumble. Hit like, hit subscribe, share the show with your friends. Help us grow that digital footprint for the radio station. It really does make a difference for all the hosts here, myself, Mandis, Benson, Murphy. It greatly benefits us when you like and subscribe. I know we say it all the time, and it's easy to go, I'll do it later. But if you could do it for us, if everybody that listens to the station subscribed, man, we'd be cooking with gas, and we'd get a lot of great interviews. We really would. We already do, but we'd get even bigger ones. Just to let you know. So please go over to the YouTube page, go over to the Rumble page, hit like, hit subscribe, and share the show with your friends. Did you see that Cumulus had a strategic partnership with Rumble announced? It's pretty cool. I'm going to be having a talk with the big boss today and see what we can do with that. We really need to pour some gas on that fire. Rumble is the premier free speech platform. I saw the news break, and they said they're going to be promoting podcasts and live streams a lot more on Rumble from Cumulus stations. And I said, who better than Super Talk 99.7 WTN?
Here for it.
Put us on that front page.
We're here for it.
Underline, italicize, all the things.
Yeah.
We need it.
All the things.
How are you feeling, Mason? Mason had a bit of a tummy ache yesterday.
Yeah, a little bit. Not keeping anything down. It was an interesting day, for sure.
Well, it was interesting.
Babe, no, it was awful. It was not fun. Not fun at all.
Well, we're glad you're back.
Glad to be back.
615-737-9986 if you want to join the show. Let's start digging in on Russiagate, shall we? There were some revelations by Tulsi Gabbard. A couple days ago, she was on Laura Ingraham, and then yesterday, an interview dropped with her and Miranda Devine. Now, Tulsi Gabbard said that what we're seeing right now with the grand jury that is being assembled is the first step towards accountability. And she said that she has met with the Justice Department, she's met with the prosecutors, and she said that they're committed to leaving no stone unturned when it comes to Russia, and what the Obama administration did to DJT and how they hamstrung his presidency for the first 2 years with Russia. And she says, what we're seeing is the first step towards accountability. This is Tulsi Gabbard 2 days ago now on Laura Ingraham.
There's a report tonight from the Federalist that the DOJ is actually asking you for more documents in its grand jury probe. Is that true? And what are they asking for now?
That is true, Laura, and I just want to point out how important this is, that Attorney General Pam Bondi, through the Department of Justice, is taking this necessary first step toward accountability, which is essential for the American people to begin to have any kind of trust in the integrity of our democratic republic. I met with the Department of Justice prosecutors today, and yes, they are committed to leaving no stone unturned as they conduct this grand jury investigation and find the truth. Obviously, we've already handed over the documents that we've declassified and released publicly over the last few weeks. They have more questions, and they're going to be really taking a deep dive into this, again, looking everywhere to find the truth and conduct this very serious investigation.
Well, I hope they really do leave no stone unturned. And I hope that they look in every burn bag, in every back room, at every FBI office, because it seems like they're finding more and more documents every day. I also, and I mentioned this a couple days ago, I do hope that they dig into what happened to Seth Rich. I think that the Seth Rich story is really critical to exposing the Russia story. You know, when they said that Russia was influencing and hacking into our election, they were doing so and releasing documents to WikiLeaks. I think if you break down what happened to Seth Rich and you find the truth there, the Russia hoax falls apart. Seth Rich was a DNC staffer. He was a Bernie bro, and he watched the DNC rig that primary in favor of Hillary Clinton, and it broke him. Broke him to the point of taking emails and leaking them to WikiLeaks. 100%. Like, I have no doubt in my mind. Julian Assange has referenced it himself. And when they leave no stone unturned, I hope that they start asking questions about how this botched robbery was executed, and they leave the guy's watch and cell phone and wallet and money. It's very, very coincidental. I think if they get to the bottom of Seth Rich, you're going to find yourself really breaking the Russiagate wide open. Now, DNI Gabbard, she says that it was Obama. Obama directed a National Security Council meeting be called. Obama was the one that wanted that intelligence assessment changed, and she broke this all down on Laura Ingraham just the other night. This is DNI Gabbard with Laura Ingraham.
As you were playing those clips of these people like Morning Joe seemingly befuddled, saying that by no account is any of this true, I would challenge them to see if they've actually read the documents, every single page of the documents that we've released over the last couple of weeks. If not, go to odni.gov, G-O-V. It's all right there for anyone to see. And those who go in and read this will see how President Obama directed that a National Security Council meeting be called to talk about Russia, that the report that came out of that meeting was filled with tasks that were delivered by James Clapper's assistant to John Brennan and to other elements of the intelligence community. John Brennan was the head of the CIA at the time, all saying per the president's direction, per the president's order. And very specifically, they were tasked to create an intelligence assessment that detailed how Moscow tried to influence the election, not if, but how. And this was the beginning of this manufactured intelligence assessment where they knowingly wrote things in this assessment that were false, and they knew they were false. They knew that they were basing it on discredited intelligence or documents like the Steele dossier that was politically motivated and that they knew was false. And this was how they came up with the Russia hoax that was then weaponized and used to try to delegitimize the president, President Trump, and to try to ultimately enact it. As you were playing,
I mean, we know the story now. It's been laid out multiple times. Yet DNI Gabbard says, you know, the people that talk a lot of that bovine scatology, if they would just read the documents, they could see for themselves. But they're not going to read the documents because they got a narrative to push, and the narrative continues. It was just the other day on MSNBC where they were going full damage control on Russia, and they said that this grand jury that could take place in Florida, well, that's weaponization of the justice system.
Trust the current DOJ officials to follow the facts here.
I do not, and I think what's going to be telling is where they put the grand jury. So a grand jury is typically 23 citizens that are brought together. It's a prosecutorial tool, but if they convene it in D.C. district, they might not get the outcome that they want. So it's likely they're going to put it in Florida, which means they're looking for a certain outcome, not where the facts actually drive you. So again, this looks like weaponization. And what it looks like is, you know, he's bringing together an old conspiracy to kind of fig leaf the Epstein conspiracy. So we're bringing President Obama back in. Hillary Clinton, George Soros is mentioned in this again. So it's the old hits coming back, which might drag some of the MAGA base back to their side.
Oh, yeah, it's going to drag us back. Listen, we can do two things at once. We can be upset with the administration for not releasing the Epstein files, which many of us are. A lot of us are. We can understand that President Trump isn't implicated, which I wholeheartedly believe. And we can want accountability for what happened after the 2016, during the 2016, and before the 2016 election. We can want both. I think it's hilarious, though, that this guy says what this clearly is weaponization. Well, if a Democrat operative knows anything, it's weaponization of the Justice Department. Full stop. Now, I was listening to Charlie yesterday. Charlie Kirk, maybe you've heard of him. Maybe you've heard of him. And Charlie Kirk said, we got to be careful going after Obama. And I wonder what you think about that. He said if it's not ironclad and you don't have him dead to rights, there is presidential immunity, and you could make him a political martyr. He says James Brennan, on the other hand, go full bore. He's not a sympathetic figure. And I wonder what you think. Do you think it's misguided to target Obama? Do you agree that if you went after Obama and we didn't win, that's almost worse than not going after Obama at all? 615-737-9986. I'm interested in your opinion. I could go either way, to be perfectly honest with you. Part of me thinks even if we don't get Obama guilty, I think you should drag him through the legal process, just like 45-47 was dragged through the legal process, and you got to make him earn it. Personally. Is that going to revitalize the Democrat base? Maybe. Is it a smart move before midterms? I'm not sure. But it's a question that I'd love to get your opinion on. 615-737-9986. On the way, Tulsi Gabbard doubling down in an interview with Miranda Devine, saying that people like Clapper, James Clapper, John Brennan need to be held accountable. And she said, Clapper, this isn't the first hoax he's pushed. And she brings receipts. I'll bring you that when we get back. It's 9:22. This is Super Talk, 99.7 WTN. I just want to go on the record and say that the National Guard, seeing them, has never made me want to throw rocks and loot. Just letting you know. If I saw people throwing rocks and looters, I might have other ideas. I don't know what those would be. Hey, it's Chris Hand here for the Glock Store. Today, most new guns come optic ready right out of the box. Glock calls it MOS. That's Modular Optic System. But what if you bought your Glock before optics were the big thing? I mean, does that mean you're left out or you need to buy a new Glock? Of course not. Lenny McGill over at the Glock Store has your back when it comes to all things Glock, and they have 16 CNC machines. And out of those 16, 3 of them are dedicated to cutting Glock sides to precisely fit the red or green dot optic of your choice, and they can do it in 10 days or less. And sometimes you can go to the store and drop it off, and it'll be a lot less than those 10 days. Unlike optic-ready Glocks, which rely on an adapter plate to fit a variety of optics, when you get this cut by the Glock Store, your optic's going to sit lower, be more secure, and be more accurate, which is key. The Glock Store's cut over 20,000 customer slides, and every single one of them has been perfect. They're good that way. If you've never shot a Glock with an optic, remember, only $6.99 will get you a 10-round sample pack, and you can shoot a Glock with either a Holosun or Vortex optic, the 2 most popular brands. That's the Glock Store. Minutes from the airport, worth the drive from anywhere, always open online, glockstore.com.
One candidate for Tennessee governor clarifies his opposition to medical marijuana, and a measure of the labor market comes up short. All of that and more coming up here at 9:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
That's Joan Jones in the newsroom. My name's Chris Hand. Show's brought to you by Better Water LLC. This is Super Talk 99.7 WTN. So I posed the question before the break. With the DOJ, do you want them to go after Obama? I was listening to Charlie Kirk. I do. I like, out of all the guys that do radio shows, I listen to Charlie quite a bit. I think he's great. But he said something that I found interesting. He said, I don't think we go after Obama unless we have him dead to rights. That it could be more politically beneficial to the left if we go after him and lose than it would be not going after him at all. So I posed the question to you, 615-737-9986. What do you want to do with Barack Hussein Obama? Brian in Clarksville. You're up first. What's up, Brian?
Hey, man, that's funny that you said Anthony because that's my middle name. And I thought, wow, how do you get that?
I know you, man. I know this audience.
I know you know me. I'm a shout-out to all the U-Haul drivers out there. We drive around the Middle Tennessee area a lot. We all listen to you.
Oh, man. Hey, anecdotally speaking, number one with U-Haul drivers, and they're going to love us in a little bit, too, because we're gonna take a huge, steamy dump on Penske. Don't worry.
Okay. To Obama, I don't think you test the wind, bro. I don't think Charlie Kirk needs to test the wind. He's a Christian. He needs to say we go after him regardless if they have the goods. If they don't have goods, you shouldn't go after anybody. It's what they did to our president. They made stuff up. We don't have to make stuff up, then go after him 100%.
Yeah.
Don't let up until you find. I wish we could go after Biden and Hunter and all them without, messing up or having to redo the pardons he gave. But Obama, 100% plus. Do him, his attorney general as much as you can on his administration. Because, look, these people don't pull the trigger by themselves. They're cowards. And if I may, can I add one more thing that's kind of off cuff?
Yeah.
You know the cowards that beat those white people in Cincinnati? I've got a son who did a little MMA, and he told me, Dad, if you'll pay the bail for that one dude to hit that woman, I'd like 5 minutes with him in a room. Because I don't think he'd play me like that.
No, I don't think so. Hey, I appreciate the call, Brian. As always, more of your calls when we return. It's 9:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Good morning. I'm Joan Jones with your top stories. Got a problem on 840 this morning to tell you about. 8040 westbound before the I-65 exit. That's number 31. You've got a crash. The shoulder is blocked off, and it is really slow in that area this morning. Also, 24 downtown eastbound. Just before I-40, the east split, there's another crash reported in that area. Medical marijuana has become a political hot topic in the governor's race here in Tennessee after telling Chris Hand that he would veto any legislation to legalize medical pot. Candidate and Congressman John Rose has clarified that.
There are those who swear by, the medical benefits that they've received, pain killing and other things. And so, we have been doing this for literally hundreds of years. We've been identifying substances and extracting the materials or the active ingredients that are useful, and we can do that with marijuana.
Rose is challenging Senator Marsha Blackburn for the Republican nomination next year. Changes coming to Nashville that could lead to more duplexes, triplexes, and quadplexes. Channel 4's Brennan Tierney reports Metro Planning is holding a series of public meetings.
The proposal looks to replace a lot of Nashville's single-family neighborhood zoning with more density. It's part of the housing and infrastructure study that found the city is projected to be short at least 20,000 homes over the next decade. This new phase of the project is trying to look past large apartment buildings and tall and skinnies to find a way for more people to live in a community without changing how it feels. Most of the changes will be next to major roads and in neighborhoods with single-family homes right next to business districts.
Now, the plan involves rezoning about 300 acres in the Nations. More people filed for jobless benefits last week.
The latest look at weekly claims for unemployment benefits finds 226,000 filings in the week leading up to August 2nd. That's an increase of 7,000 from the week before. In all, 1.9 million Americans are receiving benefits, 38,000 more than the last week of July.
ABC's Jim Ryan. Stocks have slipped a bit. The Dow Jones Industrial is now minus 121. NASDAQ is up 140, though. The S&P gaining 11. That's the latest news. Weather's up next. I'm Joan Jones, WTN News.
Hey, what's up? It's Chris Hand here from my friends at Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. It is back to school time, and Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling is bringing the buzz with some big savings and sweet giveaways. You got septic issues? Well, now's the time to act. Well, let's be honest. The time has passed to act, but you should act now. You can get 15% off any septic work, main drain lines, or whole home repipes just in time for the new school year. If you upgrade your HVAC system, you'll get entered to win the Healthy Hive giveaway. That's a $1,500 sponsorship to the local school of your choice. And forget the red apple. Guys, you want to grease the wheels with a new teacher? How about you get them a Beehive Club membership? All you got to do is join the Beehive Club, and you get a free membership to give to a local teacher, coach, or faculty member at a school near you. Buy one, gift one. It's that simple. Plus, you can breathe easier with $100 off indoor air quality products and enjoy $250 off any water filtration systems for your home. Call Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling, 615-775-7833, 615-775-7833, or find them online, busybeehvac.com. Sure is. And it's brought to you by Better Water LLC. Water filtration systems, water softeners. You get those at betterwater.com. Love those guys. Patriots. If you need a water filter system, you got to talk to the best. You got to talk to Better Water LLC. We're talking about Barack Obama. I was listening to Charlie Kirk. He said, He said, let's chill. Let's chill. Unless you have him dead to rights, let's be careful. We don't want to make Obama a political martyr. Maybe we shouldn't go after him. Brennan, Clapper, Comey, easy. Go after those guys. But Obama, maybe we should pump the brakes. And so I posed the question to you. What do you think about that? 615-737-9986. Personally, I could go either way. I understand both sides of the logic. The vindictive side of me just wants to drag him through a court case, whether it's win, lose, or draw. Just make him pay through the nose to defend himself. Make him get those attorneys. He would get good attorneys. He would. But make him go through the process, just like they made Donald go through the process. That's my personal preference, I guess, if I have to choose one. But I understand both sides of the argument. What do you think? 615-737-9986. Anthony in Nashville, you're up first. Thanks for holding, man. What do you got?
You broke my heart earlier when you called my name, and it was going to the other guy.
Dude, I didn't mean to. I have these fat, chubby fingers, and if you're watching on the YouTube stream, you can absolutely confirm that I have these fat, chubby fingers, and I hit the wrong button, and then I had to pivot. I was going to go to you first. Thank you for holding.
That's fine. I agree with everything you said just literally before you called me on about Obama. I want him to hang. I want him to suffer what they put him through as well. Because this has to be some kind of accountability. Even if he has immunity, I don't really care. I want to see discovery. I want to see what he can get away with, or not get away with. I want to see what he can actually fight, like they made him fight. That's all I want to see.
Yeah, I'm with you, and I appreciate the call. Sorry for getting your hopes up there earlier.
It's okay. It's okay.
All right, appreciate you for giving me, Anthony. Let's go to Larry on the road. What's up, Larry?
Hello, how you doing there, buddy?
What do you think about Obama? Do you go after him no matter what, or should we be more patient?
I'll tell you what, man, I take this very seriously. All politicizing, all strategizing aside on either side, and contrary to what these big shots in Washington and even on more local levels seem to believe, and a lot of their followers as well, son, nobody is above the law.
It's true.
As a matter of principle alone, I want to see him taken down if indeed he's guilty of certain things, which I've always been convinced that he is. But just as a matter of principle, I mean, I realize there's a risk politically. I realize you could even be risking riots in this country.
Yep.
And I'm sorry for that. And we can get past that, although it would come at a costly price for some of those involved, I suppose. But just as a matter of principle, because I'll tell you why, man, and just wrap it up here. Please, let's stop calling these people on the left progressive. They are anything but progressive. They are regressive in their ethics, their policies, everything that they stand for. And I just wish that title would go, well, call them what they are. They're liberals.
I think you could say commies, actually, personally.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So,
that's
but
not too harsh a word for me. Yeah,
but do you remember a couple of years ago with the midterms, Roe v. Wade gets overturned and it really energizes the left. And a lot of people look at that and say, man, that gave him too much ammo. That gave him too much fodder.
Yes.
Do you think we could be doing the same thing if we were to bring Obama into a courtroom before midterms?
Oh, I think we've already seen a lot of energizing on the right since the last election. I believe this is the kind of thing for those on the right that would stand together on it for the most part, of course, with some exceptions. But there's been a little bit of wave of common sense and conservatism since the last election, and I think that'll hold true. You know, the left gets away with as much as they do as long as they do because, A, they hold power at points, and B, the media gives them entirely too much attention, and C, too many people believe it because it's the easy, cool thing to believe, especially with certain generations. But, no, I think that if we went after it, and all of these people, not just Mr.
Oh, we lost Larry.
Before this is over, but Obama put a stone wall up in front of all of this quite some time back when he classified so much of this information, thinking that was the end of it.
My only fear would be doing it before midterms. You know, I love the idea of dragging them through the process, but if we do it before midterms, currently Democrats have a 23% favorability among their own voters. Obama is still a very popular figure in the Democrat Party. So
he's a legend in their mind. But again, it gets back to me anyway, personally, as principle. I opposed, and I was 15 years old when this happened. I was old enough to know right from wrong. I opposed Gerald Ford for pardoning Richard Nixon for any crimes past or present, or future for that matter, for the same reason. You know, the message has to be sent that people cannot think that just because they're in positions of power that they are above the law. When that goes on long enough, they'll make laws that will protect them. They won't just break laws, you know, and get away with it. I mean, they will shield themselves from any consequences, and there's just too many of them that aren't held accountable on both sides often, but especially these days on the left. This is no big thing to me. This whole debacle ranks past Watergate as far as scandal is concerned.
Yeah, I'm with you. That was the point I was going to make. It makes, you know, like the Atlanta Braves versus the Savannah Bananas is Obama Russiagate versus Watergate, 100%.
Yep. Well, I'm passionate about it, as you can tell, but thank you for your time, man, and let's keep on trucking, and we'll see what comes of all of this, I suppose.
All right, brother. Appreciate the call, Larry. Thanks so much. Now, I do think that they got some of the other guys dead to rights. Clapper, Comey, Brennan. Tulsi Gabbard was talking about James Clapper the other day during this interview with Miranda Devine, and she says, this isn't the first hoax that James Clapper was involved with, if you can recall.
James Clapper was on the team that created, that manufactured intelligence assessment that led to the Iraq war, about the Iraq WMDs. He writes about it in his book, saying that he and his team of intelligence analysts created something that was not there. When you look at his actions then, and you look at his actions in 2016 as Obama's director of national intelligence, you see someone who has no problem whatsoever politicizing and manufacturing and weaponizing intelligence for a political outcome.
Tulsi Gabbard's been on fire, man, and she's not playing around. And she says, James Clapper, you have a pattern of doing this. You have a history of doing this. I think that they're going to have James Clapper dead to rights. She kept going, and Miranda Devine said, okay, well, what does accountability look like? What's going to happen to individuals like Clapper, like Brennan, like Comey, like Clinton, behind the Russia hoax? Tulsi Gabbard.
What will happen to them? Because I can't imagine, you know, they got away with it with Iraq. If they get away with it with Russia, the Russia hoax, you know, what's ever going to stop it?
Accountability.
And does that mean jail?
Accountability has to take place.
Is that jail?
We've referred all of the documents we have found. We will continue to refer them to the Department of Justice for a criminal referral. Attorney General Pam Bondi has created a strike force team in order to look at,
which is serious. Strike force team.
It is a serious thing that really draws into focus one team of her attorneys that's focused singularly on this issue, which is critical. Accountability to those who are culpable for this, are responsible for this. But also it's, you know, they are the most well-known individuals. But when you talk about how do we change this, we have to recognize that both of them, John Brennan and James Clapper, as leaders in the intelligence community, they have their own disciples.
Yeah, they do. So it's not just about taking these guys out. It's also about cleaning house currently. And their disciples are still in positions of power. In fact, you can make the argument that just about everywhere through this government, you're going to find radicalized leftists who pledge their allegiance to that Obama cabal. You can absolutely make the argument. I mean, we see it every day with leaks and sources and all this stuff that comes out in the mainstream media. Towards the end of the interview, Miranda Devine did ask Tulsi Gabbard what she thinks about the media coverage of this so far. And, you know, much to, your non-surprise, Tulsi Gabbard isn't exactly impressed with how the mainstream media coverage has been going or not going, depending on how you're looking at it. But she says it's also pretty predictable because the mainstream media has been complicit in this every step of the way.
It's been striking that during all these declassifications, all these Russia hoax material that you've put out, pretty incontrovertible, that the very media that was involved in, getting leaks and propagating the Russia hoax is strangely silent now.
Exactly.
Are you surprised?
Not so strangely silent. I'm not surprised for a few reasons, primary of which many of these mainstream media outlets were the ones who James Brennan and his people and John Brennan and his people and James Clapper and his people leaked to almost immediately after that Obama directed National Security Council meeting.
Before the intelligence community assessment had been made.
Weeks before that assessment was completed, and actually even before it had really begun being drafted. And so, and in many cases, these mainstream media outlets printed exactly what they were told to print without any kind of vetting or like, okay, well, was this always the assessment? Or can you give us any evidence that this is true? None of it, because it didn't exist. And then it wasn't just a one-off thing. These are mainstream media outlets that went on to repeat and build up and really advance and propagate this lie that was created by President Obama and his administration, and went on to win awards for it.
Yeah, they gave themselves pats on the back and shiny awards for their fireplace mantle. And they praised themselves. They loved the smell of their own farts. They probably knew that this was a lie from the jump, but they didn't want to do any investigating. They just got fed the story by the Democrats like little baby birds. Channel my inner Matt Murphy. That's one of my favorite lines of the I'm going to feed you, baby birds. That's what the Democrats did to the mainstream media during this Russia hoax. Gary in Springfield, you're up next on Super Talk. What do you got, Gary?
Well, three things real quick, and I'll preface with this. There is no immunity for high crimes and misdemeanors. You commit crimes like this in high office, misconduct in high office, there's no immunity. Let's knock this stuff off. Two, Tulsi Gabbard is a combat fighter pilot. Let's not forget, she's just not the average person, and she laid it on the line, and I'm speaking as a veteran, okay?
Yep.
We demand of ourselves things that the average person will not require of themselves, and we're tired of this crap.
Yep.
Okay.
I hear you, man.
They come to office, they should, the penalties that we would get. I had a top secret clearance. I'd be thrown under the bus for 35 years to do what Hillary Clinton did. Knock this garbage off.
Yep.
These people, I don't want to hear the word accountability anymore. That's like putting Johnny in a corner because he's always acting up. Punished.
Yep.
Convicted.
I'm with you, Gary.
Work, prison, time. And that Kenyan, because that's what he really is, that Kenyan needs to be really punished as a foreigner on top of that. That's a nut hoax.
Gary, I love you, man. Thank you for your service. As always, I love you, Gary, and I appreciate the call. He said that Kenyan. Gary woke up this morning and Gary chose violence. It's 9:51. This is Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Mostly peaceful. We're recording a new episode today, and it's going to drop Saturday morning. Set your alerts on the YouTube page. Hit the little bell. You'll get notified as soon as it drops. Hey, it's Chris Hand here from my friends at United Structural Systems. When it comes to home repairs, you hear me tell you all the time, especially with the waterproofing, man, you just ignore the warning signs. I've been there. We all have. It's like, it's just a little water. It's going to go away, and it will. It'll dry up. But when the rain comes back, so does the issue. And these small problems aren't going to stay small. You need to talk to USS today, because if you don't, that water in your crawl space and in your basement's turning into mold. You don't want your family breathing that in. It's turning into wood rot, which is going to lead to foundation issues. And that problem that could have been fixed for a reasonable price is really, it's compounding, man. Don't do that to yourself. Do what 30,000 homeowners did and call the best. Call USS. Why are they the best? Well, they're not going to send a sales guy to your house. They're going to send an expert. Not somebody worried about their sales quota, somebody worried about your waterproofing. That's the difference. Whether it's foundation repair or waterproofing, call USS. 30 years in the game, here for the long haul. If you see the signs, don't wait. 615-488-7855. That's 615-488-7855 for United Structural Systems, or you can find them online, USSTN.com.
Going for the death penalty. What happened this morning at an accused killer's arraignment? Also, the big incentives being offered to go to work for the federal government. Coming up here at 10 o'clock on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Yeah, there used to be a lot of government jobs under Biden. Seems like the ones that we're getting under Trump, a lot better for the American people.
Oh, yeah.
A lot better. Joan Jones on the way with the headlines. My name's Chris Hand. The show's brought to you by our friends at Better Water LLC. Shout out to everybody activated in the YouTube chat and on Rumble. Hit like, hit subscribe, share the show with your friends. Why would you want to watch a radio show on TV? Well, we have all the video for all the audio that you hear on your radio. And it's just another way to get involved and get connected with Super Talk 99.7 WTN. So please, find us, YouTube, Rumble, hit like, hit subscribe, share the show with your friends. On the way, Trump had this press conference where he took control of the Olympics from Gavin Newsom. And I love it. I love every single bit of this. If there's one thing we know about Gavin Newsom, it's that he can take something good and screw it up. We've seen that, many such cases. And Donald Trump had the fear that he would do the same thing with the Olympics. So he said, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna handle this one. You're going to want to hear these comments from President Trump. He goes in, and he also says, there ain't going to be any men in women's sports this time. No, we're not going to see what we saw in France with that dude boxing that lady. Liberals cheer for that. It's so weird. Liberals always cheer for dudes beating women. I don't understand it. We'll talk about the Olympics. Plus, we'll talk about the redistricting that's going on. It's gotten a little bit bananas. And is Stephen Colbert setting up a redemption arc? He might be. I'll tell you why on the way. It's 10 o'clock. This is Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Good morning. I'm Joan Jones with your top stories. Rescue crews are still trying to clear an accident this morning on I-840 westbound just before I-65 exit 31. The crash takes out the right lane there. Pretty slow around that area. The state of Tennessee will seek the death penalty for accused killer Austin Drummond. He's the man accused of killing 4 of his girlfriend's family members. He was arraigned on murder charges in Lake County Court this morning, with kidnapping and abandonment as well for depositing a baby on a stranger's lawn 40 miles from the scene of the crime. The judge this morning revealing that all 4 victims were shot to death. Apple announcing it'll cover all new iPhones and iWatch products in glass that's made in the Harrodsburg, Kentucky Corning plant. That is welcome news for employees there.
I think it's great. I think it's going to bring a lot more people back into the plant, a lot more jobs. Keep people in the building.
Kentucky officials say it's just one of several projects bringing hundreds of jobs to Mercer County. Need a job? DHS is hiring, and Secretary Kristi Noem says they're removing the cap on age limits to get more agents quickly.
Up until now, you had to be at least 21 to apply. ICE is also offering hiring incentives, including a signing bonus of up to $50,000, student loan repayment and forgiveness, and enhanced retirement benefits.
It's WSMV4's Amanda Hara. Now, recruits will still have to pass a fitness test. President Trump says he wants the census to reflect a true count of Americans. ABC's Stephen Portnoy.
In his first term, President Trump aimed to add a citizenship question to the 2020 census. The move was blocked in the courts. Now he says he's directing the Commerce Department to begin working on what he calls a new and highly accurate census that would exclude people in the country illegally. The Constitution says the House is apportioned based on the whole number of persons in each state. Census data is also used to mete out federal grants. An account that would leave out those who are here illegally could cost states and cities billions of dollars.
At the stroke of midnight, President Trump's new tariffs on nearly every U.S. trading partner went into effect. ABC's Gio Benitez spoke to White House trade advisor Peter Navarro.
What the President Trump is doing is leveling the playing field on behalf of American workers, on behalf of American businesses. The tariffs will help pay for the tax cuts in the big, beautiful bill. The tariffs will help debt reduction.
At the moment, stocks are mixed. The Dow Jones Industrial's down 232, but the Nasdaq is up 103 and the S&P 500 index up 1.5 points. That's the latest news. Weather is next. I'm Joan Jones, WTN News.
It's 10:06 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hey, how are you? It's Chris Hand. Show's brought to you by Better Water LLC. Water filtration systems, water softeners, betterwater.com. Did you hear what happened with John Rose yesterday? A couple things. Or no, it was Jody Barrett, I think we did the gay frogs thing. I was asking,
really?
Yeah, so I said to Jody Barrett, I said, do you know why we need water filter systems? And Louie's back there.
Yeah.
But Louie couldn't find the button.
Aw.
So it was extra delayed. I also tried to get John Rose on the record of supporting the name change for the Music City Loop to the BNA hole. He seemed open to it if he becomes governor, but he didn't make any confirmations. Both those interviews are on demand on the YouTube page. Go over there, hit like, hit subscribe, all the things. What do you think? Do you think we should let people know why they need water filtration systems?
I think so.
Let's do it then.
I don't like them putting chemicals in the water that turn the friggin' frogs gay.
It's a reason. Betterwater.com.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. All right. So without further ado, Donald Trump grabbing the reins from one Gavin Newsom. He said, you screwed up the fires. You screwed up the water in the reservoir. We don't want you to ruin the Olympics because of the smelt fish. I mean, I'm paraphrasing a little bit. Just a tad. He didn't really bring up the smelt fish. But he did. He did grab the means of power from Gavin Newsom when it comes to the Olympics. And I haven't heard many people talking about this story, but I think it's a big deal. This is President Trump yesterday.
Major step to ensure the United States is fully prepared to welcome the world to Los Angeles for the 2028 Summer Olympic Games. Very exciting day of my life when we got nominated and we ultimately got it. And I didn't think I'd be here for the games in this capacity, but it worked out that way.
I mean, he said that a couple times, right? He's like, because they stole the 2020 election, guess what? I get to have the 250th birthday celebration of America. I get to be in control of the Olympics. And I do think it's important to point out the way Donald Trump is moving today in 2025, we would not have seen that in the aftermath of the 2020 election. The Democrats would have, the opposition would have been crazy. We would have been dealing with impeachment trials. Like, there is a silver lining in the stolen 2020 election. There absolutely is. And one of those silver linings is Donald Trump getting the Olympics.
So I'm very happy about that. I had no idea that was going to happen. When we got it, I said, too bad I won't be president then. But sort of we took a very circuitous route, didn't we?
Circuitous route. That may be the first time I've ever heard the president say circuitous. Have you heard it before? Fact check me.
In my first term, we were instrumental in helping the city of Los Angeles win the bid to bring the Olympic torch back to American soil. And today I will sign an executive order establishing the White House Task Force on the 2028 Summer Olympics, mobilizing the entire federal government to ensure the games are safe, seamless, and historically successful. It's going to be amazing. I think it's going to be amazing.
Yeah, I'm here for it. I do. Listen, after what we saw in France, remember the opening ceremonies for the France Olympics where they mocked the Last Supper, they mocked our Lord and Savior, they did all that, and then during the games they had men beating women. That's not what we're going to see in Los Angeles in 2026. Spoiler alert. If you're into that kind of thing, you're going to have to look for it elsewhere. But he did. He recognized the guy. His name is Gene Sykes, chair of the U.S. Olympic Committee, for being the guy that recently banned men from competing in women's sports. And then he re-emphasized, the president did, that he is not going to allow any men to compete against women in the 2026 Olympics, which it's crazy that we have to highlight this. It's a tad bit insane that this is where we are in 2025, but it's good news. It is.
I also want to welcome the chair of the U.S. Olympic Committee, Gene Sykes. Gene, thank you. Thank you, Gene, very much. And thank him for recently banning men from competing in women's sports. That's a big deal. Thank you very much. It's amazing the way I don't hear any applause for that when everyone feels it. It's a 97. Don't worry about it. That's a 97-3. It's not 80-20. It's 97-3. But nobody wants to clap. It's crazy. The United States will not let men steal trophies from women at the 2028 Olympics. So we appreciate the fairness. And
yeah, no, listen, fairness is important. I tweeted this the other day. I'd come across this old tweet from the NHL from 2022. And it was the exact date of this tweet from the NHL. The NHL. 11/22/22. Trans women are women. Trans men are men. Non-binary identity is real. And I only highlight that to re-emphasize how far we've come in battling the woke mind virus. We have come an incredibly long way. And I think that we do have to give a lot of credit to the man in the White House, President Trump, for battling that virus. It's been unbelievable. Now, while he was doing the Olympic stuff, he was also asked a lot of questions, and President Trump never shies away from a good question. And he was asked about those Texas Democrats who have fled Texas. They ran to Illinois and Massachusetts and New York, and President Trump had some comments about those Texas Democrats.
well, I think they've abandoned the state. Nobody's seen anything like it, even though they've done it twice before. And in a certain way, it almost looks like they've abandoned the state. It looks very bad. Yeah, go ahead, please.
Should the FBI get involved? Should the FBI get involved?
Well, they may have to. They may have to. No, I know they want them back. Not only the Attorney General, the governor wants them back. If you look, I mean, the governor of Texas is demanding they come back. So a lot of people are demanding they come back. You can't just sit it out. You have to go back. You have to fight it out. That's what elections are all about.
Amen. Now, the question was, is the FBI going to get involved? And at the time, we didn't have news on that. But today, we do have developments. The FBI is going to help locate those Texas Democrats who fled the state. This is big news, and I'm a huge fan of it. So it's been quite a few days since the Texas Republicans have fled the great state of Texas. And in a statement, John Cornyn said FBI Director Kash Patel has granted his request to help locate the lawmakers. He said, we cannot allow these rogue legislators to avoid their constitutional responsibilities, Cornyn said. Now, it's unclear if the FBI will apprehend the legislatures in Illinois and other states. The FBI did not immediately respond to Axios' comments, but the Democrats, they got some new people looking for him today, and we'll see what happens. FBI will help locate Texas Democrats who fled the state, according to Senator John Cornyn, Republican out of Texas. Maybe you've heard of him. Jasmine Crockett was essentially daring Greg Abbott to send teams to arrest the Democrats and the Texas House members the other day. She made an appearance on ABC News. I'm a huge fan of Jasmine Crockett making any and all appearances any opportunity she has. In fact, I think that we should platform her as much as humanly possible because I think she is the perfect caricature of what the Democrat Party has devolved into. And she dared Governor Abbott on ABC the other night to come at me, bro, if you will.
I don't say ultimately. I never say ultimately because I don't have a give up attitude whatsoever. But right now, the governor has decided that he wants to waste more of Texans' resources by deciding that he's going to send out the troopers. And listen, I don't even think that he's going to do that. I think he's just talking. Earlier today, I posted a copy of the warrant that was signed by the speaker because it's the speaker of the House that can put the call on the House, not the governor. And no one came to get me last time. In fact, it is a cute little warrant that has a cute little frame on it. And so they like to talk a big game, but the reality is that, number one, you have a lot of intelligent attorneys that actually serve in the tech.
Yeah, so she's daring them. She's daring them. I love how she says this is a waste of resources when the Texas Democrats fled the state on a plane that takes $17,000 an hour to operate, costing them about $100K. It's a waste of this is a waste of resources. Okay. Got it. Now, as this is going on, you have a lot of Democrat governors threatening pushback and, well, you're giving us no choice. We're going to redraw our lines. And that brings us to the Massachusetts governor, Maura Healey. Now, she is an idiot. She's an absolute dumb A, and I'll explain to you why. You can't redistrict Massachusetts anymore. Massachusetts has 40% Republican voters in the state. They have redistricted to the point where you don't have any Republican representation from Massachusetts in the House or the Senate. You just don't. And she gets to a podium and says, we're going to fight fire with fire, Governor Maura Healey did, and we're going to redistrict Massachusetts even harder. Okay? Okay.
Other governors have talked about redistricting in retaliation. Is that something you would consider in Massachusetts?
You know, isn't it a sad state of affairs that that's where we're at, okay? And, you know, Donald Trump, Greg Abbott, Ken Paxton have left us no choice.
Oh, Trump! So dumb. You have no choice. You have no choice. What a sad state of affairs.
That's the reality. Nobody came looking for this, right? We had a system of free and fair elections. We have maps that are regularly drawn, voted on by legislatures, approved and signed off on by governors. This is the way the system works.
Explain to me how that's different than what Texas is doing. Voted by legislators, signed off on by the governor. This is how it works. This is how Texas is executing it, right? Am I missing something? But she's threatening some pushback. She's threatening to fight fire with fire now. Oh, go on.
Until this comes in. And so, you know, they've left us no choice. It's not where anyone wants to be. I can tell you that governors I know, maybe with the exception of this person in Texas, evidently, we want our constituents represented. We want the voices heard.
Except for the 40% of Republican voters in Massachusetts, right? Right.
Whether you vote for me or not, I want your voice to count. I want your vote to count. Unlike Greg Abbott, who doesn't want your voice to count and doesn't want your vote to count, nor does Donald Trump, nor does Ken Paxton, because they're proposing to completely rewrite a map out of nowhere to take away the votes and the voices of Texans. And the message is, not only does this have an impact on Congress, which impacts all of America,
That's what it's about.
it also is something that you don't want to see spread. You don't want to see spread.
I want all the voices heard, but I don't want to see the voices of Republicans spread. That's the issue. That's the issue. I mean, they know what the end result of this is going to be. They know that it's going to create an uphill battle for them in the midterms. And so what you're hearing in Governor Healey's voice, the governor of Massachusetts, is panic. It is stress, and it is despair. That's what you're seeing all across the board with these Democrats, whether it's in New York or whether it's in Illinois or whether it's in Massachusetts. They're shook because they know with this redistricting, Donald Trump's agenda is going to be slammed, pedal to the metal. We're going to be flying. And they're probably not going to take back the House in midterms. And they're shook. They're absolutely shook. Now, I mentioned Stephen Colbert earlier. I said, is he setting up a character redemption arc? And I only say that because he had the governor of Illinois on his show last night, J.B. Pritzker. And one of the big talking points is that the Democrats in Texas fled to Illinois, which is one of the most gerrymandered states in the entire union. And so I see this clip from Colbert, and I wonder, is he trying to set up a redemption arc? Because what he did is he had J.B. Pritzker on his show, and he essentially makes fun of the congressional map of Illinois right to J.B. Pritzker's face, which is, it was something I was surprised to see from Colbert, known Trump hater.
Easy districts in Illinois. Take a look at this. Look at 17 here. It does that. Then it comes up here and it sneaks around there and goes all the way up here and then goes right over there like that. And look at this one, kind of goes whoop up there. It's like the stinger on a scorpion down here. Is this common for all states to do?
Well, we handed it over to a kindergarten class and let them decide.
Okay, and that's the nonpartisan group that does this
Absolutely.
for you guys?
That's our independent commission, you know.
I mean, J.B. Pritzker laughs it off, but you look at that map, and if you're watching on Supertalk TV, you'll see the actual picture. Google it if you're not watching on Supertalk TV. It is ridiculously drawn. Ridiculously drawn.
His face looks caught off guard almost.
Well, I was caught off guard.
Yeah.
I didn't expect Colbert to go in there and call him out.
I didn't either.
So I see this clip, and I'm like, Colbert's setting up a redemption arc.
He has to be.
He has to be. He must know that the writing is on the wall, and he's got to get some of these clips so that way when he goes independent and he has a podcast, he can pull in some people. And maybe this is an unpopular opinion, but there was a time back in the day on Comedy Central where I thought Colbert was a little funny.
Oh, me too.
He was occasionally funny. And in his like Better Know a District segments, the Fighting Fifth, like there was times when he was funny. He's gone completely unhinged and radical since getting the CBS show. But it does appear to me that he's setting up a redemption arc, right? Don't you think so?
I could see it.
It has to be. It has to be. Scott Jennings, though, real quick before we hit the break. Scott Jennings, this exchange sums up the entire redistricting argument and the Democrat gaslighting plan. Scott Jennings breaks it all down.
The only reason that they're doing this is because Texas Republicans are not playing it fair to Texans, and they're trying to rig the system ahead of the midterm elections.
I think Democrats
and
look
President Trump said that.
I think let Scott talk. And it's not going to benefit you guys next
Regarding
year.
California, Republicans get about 40% of the vote, and they have 17% of the congressional seats. So not a great example.
Weird.
But number two, if it's rigging the election, that's your words, in Texas, is it going to be rigging the election when all these Democrats who say they're going to gerrymander in the other state, are you also going to argue that they're rigging the election or just in Texas?
Yes,
and have the
do not
elections been
agree.
rigged in Massachusetts, Connecticut, New York, New Jersey, Maryland, New Mexico, Hawaii, Oregon, Washington, and Rhode Island? Have they been rigged there as well? Because there, the proportion of Republican vote comes nowhere near what they have in Congress.
You know, the problem with facts is they get in the way of a good Democrat narrative. It's 10:22. This is Super Talk 99.7 WTN. We talk about them all the time. The guys over at Better Water LLC are your experts in getting you the cleanest, best-tasting water for your home, business, office, and the best water that you can shower and bathe in, bar none. Now, the stuff that you're drinking, the stuff you're bathing your kids, your grandkids, yourself in, could be pretty nasty. And it might not be. Better Water will test it for you for free, just so you know. And if they find some of the nasty stuff, they got a bunch of options. What kind of nasty stuff? I mean, let me tell you. Sulfur, iron, chlorine, bacteria, even E. coli could be in your water. Now, you might be thinking, well, I have a well. I got nothing to worry about. I've heard some horror stories. You should get your water tested for free. You might be thinking, I'm on city water. Also, heard some horror stories. You should get your water tested for free. These guys are a local company based out of Smyrna. They're already doing the water at your local coffee shops and hospitals. They're the best. Stop drinking the junk out of your tap. Give Better Water a call. 615-355-6063. That's 615-355-6063. BetterWater.com for more.
The hot topic in the Tennessee governor race, it's pot. And a measure of the labor market has come up short. We've got that more coming up here at 10:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Thank you, Joan Jones. 1027, Super Talk 99.7 WTN. My name is Chris Hand. Show's brought to you by Better Water LLC. Water filtration systems, water softeners, betterwater.com. Sorry. I got distracted during the commercial break. I was watching South Park depicting an ice raid. You know where they...
Oh, no.
Do you know where South Park did an ice raid?
Where they do an ice raid this time. Well, not this time, but...
In South Park, on the cartoon show.
Yeah.
They're mocking ice raids.
Yeah.
And they have one happening at a Dora the Explorer live show. It's terrible.
Oh, no.
It's terrible. It's so funny, though. It's so funny. Those guys are fair. They're fair. They'll make fun of everybody.
Yeah.
I mean,
nobody's off the hit list.
No. Everybody gets it.
It's appreciated.
Everybody can get it. Now, we do have some updates on immigration. Remember we played that clip from Rep. Delia Ramirez? She's from Illinois, a Democrat out of Illinois. And she was saying that, well, she's Guatemalan first and American second. Do you remember that? And everybody was like, oh, that's weird. Because you're not supposed to say that out loud. Right? Like, We understand that Democrats think that. Shout out to Ilhan Omar, the Democrat from Minnesota. Sorry, Minnesota. You're not supposed to say it out loud. Well, Rep. Delia Ramirez did say it out loud. One Tom Homan was asked about it. Do you think Tom Homan was impressed with a United States representative saying that they're a Guatemalan first and an American citizen second? Spoiler alert, no, not impressed at all.
Delia Ramirez this week has said she, born in Chicago to Guatemalan parents, said she's more proud to be a Guatemalan. I'll give you the exact quote. I'm a proud Guatemalan before I'm an American. Congressman Andy Ogles has said she should be deported over this. Should she face any consequences as a sitting Congress member?
I think what she said was disgusting, right? I mean, she's a sitting U.S. Congresswoman, citizen of this country. She's serving at the privilege of her state. Her voters put her in there. So I think her commitment should be to her state and the people that put her in that position. That should be her constituency. And I think what she said there was, in a veiled way, supporting illegal aliens from Guatemala over here. And it's a veiled shot at ICE. Let's be serious what she's doing, right? But what she needs to know is ICE is deporting thousands of nationals of Guatemala every week. And we're going to continue that until every illegal alien from Guatemala is removed from this country. That's what the people voted for, and that's what we're going to do. It's unfortunate she said that. I wish she, it's ridiculous.
It is. It's completely ridiculous. Now, not to be outdone, Penske truck, they saw what Delia Ramirez said, and they said, hold up, hold my beer. We're going to say something even more ridiculous. What did Penske trucks do? I'm going to tell you about it after the news with Joan Jones. It's 10:30. This is Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Good morning. I'm Joan Jones with your top stories. And we do still have a problem this morning on I-40. It's on the eastbound side at I-440. That's exit 206. It's a rolling roadblock there. Right now, 2 left lanes are blocked off. They're filling some potholes, causing some big delays there. Medical marijuana is a political hot topic now in the governor's race here in Tennessee. After telling the Chris Hand Show that he would veto any legislation to legalize medical pot, candidate and Congressman John Rose clarified this morning on the Dan Manda Show.
There are those who swear by, the medical benefits that they've received, pain killing and other things. And so, we have been doing this for literally hundreds of years. We've been identifying substances and extracting the materials or the active ingredients that are useful, and we can do that with marijuana.
Rose is challenging Senator Marsha Blackburn for the Republican nomination in next year's primary. Metro Nashville police have padlocked a South Nashville bar. It happened early this morning. News 2 reports detectives from the Specialized Investigations Division shut down the 404 Bar and Grill, saying there have been too many calls for police over the last 5 years, quote, draining resources from Midtown Hills Precinct. The bar is located on Elysian Fields Road. More people filed for jobless benefits last week.
The latest look at weekly claims for unemployment benefits finds 226,000 filings in the week leading up to August 2nd. That's an increase of 7,000 from the week before. In all, 1.9 million Americans are receiving benefits, 38,000 more than the last week of July.
ABC's Jim Ryan. President Trump's sweeping tariffs kicked in on dozens of countries at midnight, and stocks deflating here. The Dow Jones Industrials are now down 304. We've got the NASDAQ up still 93 points, and the S&P 500 index down 5. That's the latest news. Weather's next. I'm Joan Jones, WTN News.
1037, Super Talk 99.7 WTN. My name's Chris Hand. Hey, how are you? Show's brought to you by Better Water LLC, water filtration systems, water softeners, betterwater.com. You can find me all over the place, man. I'm on Twitter, True Social, Instagram. I have my own YouTube page and begrudgingly TikTok. Still not banned. I'm going to do.
It's impressive.
I'm going to try.
Try and get banned.
I feel like that's like the best route to go. But you can find me on all those platforms. All of them are the same. At Chris Hand on Air. And hit the follow button. I will follow back. As long as you don't look like a Russian bot. Some of these people look like Russian bots. You ever seen that?
Most of them are.
Not
it's
my
TikTok.
followers.
Oh, that's good.
No. TikTok, though?
Yeah, TikTok can have some Russian bots. Instagram is at fault for this as well. I get them every once in a while.
You're deflating me. I thought I was doing pretty good.
I mean, you probably are.
Okay.
my followers, all fake.
At Chris Hand on Air if you want to keep up with me. Also, the Super Talk TV is up and running. That's on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and Rumble. Did I say Rumble? Rumble, underline in bold. But hit like and subscribe. Share the show with your friends. We appreciate it. I do want to talk about Penske trucks. I mentioned it earlier that we need to take a steamy dump on Penske trucks.
I'm here for it.
Okay. But first, Joe in Spring Hill wants to talk. Joe, you're up on Super Talk. What's up, man?
Hey, Chris, good morning. Just wanted to talk on a couple of topics real quick.
Yes, sir.
The first one is the whole medical marijuana thing. I got to be honest with you. As an old stoner from the 70s, this just disgusts me. Either let's go full bore ahead or don't even bother. I'll tell you why. Because with the medical marijuana thing, it's so stupid. Everyone and their mother has glaucoma. You got this wrong with you. You got that wrong with you. If you look at the states that legalized it, whether it was Colorado, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, these are places that were very fiscally irresponsible. Yet the revenue generated by taxing the marijuana really put them in a good place, especially Colorado. They really crushed it. And if we could do the same here, where we do a pretty good job with our budget, the income that would come in from taxing the marijuana would really help out. Maybe we could, lower that grocery tax or some of those taxes that affect all of us.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not totally against legalizing marijuana. I think that it does get dicey, man. Like in Phoenix, when it's like every corner has a pot shop, I don't necessarily want that.
Well, Chris, that's just that was one of the things that I wanted to support my point. I'd rather just see a dispensary here and there than a vape shop on every other corner.
Well,
I mean, like I said, as an older guy,
all those, I think those vape shops have opened up with an eye to the future, thinking like at a certain point we're going to turn into a dispensary. And I think that's why you're seeing them pop up everywhere. I mean, if Tennessee could do something where it was like an online marketplace, I could maybe get behind that for recreational. But I agree. I think you're leaving a lot of money on the table. I think at the very least we got to support decriminalization.
Yeah, obviously, I'm definitely for that. Next topic I wanted to be really brief on, the whole January 6th thing. Chris, I got to be honest with you. I found this to be nothing more than liberal propaganda from the beginning. I mean, who's to know? Now that we've seen, like, with Russiagate and everything come out, who's to know that this wasn't staged by Democrats? I mean, I don't care one way or the other.
You can make the argument that it was staged by Democrats based on the evidence that we have available now. Nancy Pelosi not calling in the National Guard, the feds in the crowd. I mean, you can absolutely make the argument.
Absolutely, the feds in the crowd. And then, what they did to these people. It's so ironic that they would complain about the conditions at Alligator Alcatraz. Then you took our fellow citizens, our fellow patriots that were guilty of nothing more than trespassing, and you treated them as if they were like the worst of the worst criminals. Yep. It was just horrible. I remember you used to have that wife on whose husband was jammed
Sarah.
up. And the whole January 6th thing. Just absolutely ridiculous. I just feel as though, it was basically, I've seen fifth-grade field trips that were pretty much the same out of hand as that was. And the last thing I wanted to talk about real quick, and I deal with a lot of people from a lot of different places in the business I'm in, and it was fun because a couple of the gals I talked to, they were just going back into school after the summer break, and a couple of them, one gal was Kurdish, one girl's from Iraq, and I asked him, I go, when you go around the world, I go, what do they think in Iraq about Trump? And you know what? All around the world, they all love and respect Donald Trump because it's peace through strength, and that was the best way to run things. There's no other way. Chris, I really appreciate you taking my call, texting on all these random topics. As always, love the show, and of course, do me a favor.
Say hi to your mother for me. Yeah, I got you, Joe. I got you, brother. I got you, man. Hey, thanks so much. It's a Massachusetts thing. You wouldn't understand. Do you understand?
I don't understand.
Say hi to your mother for me. I don't know why. Every conversation. All right, I'm out of here. Say hi to your mother for me.
So good.
it's just what we would do. I don't know. And it would be awkward though, because you'd get so used to saying it, and then you'd bump into somebody who's like, Mom's not around anymore. What did I do that for? I don't say it as much anymore. All right, let's bring it back. You ready? You ready for Penske trucks?
Oh, I'm here for it.
All right, so let's begin at the beginning of the story. Okay, the beginning of the story is an immigration raid taking place at a Home Depot near MacArthur Park in Los Angeles. Now, MacArthur Park is one of the raid sites where they tipped off illegal aliens. It's a big, big hotspot for illegal aliens in L.A. This is where they're selling fake passports and documents, all the things, right? So there's an immigration raid taking place near MacArthur Park. There's videos being posted of ICE officials taking illegal aliens into custody. If you're watching on Super Talk TV, you'll see the video in all of its glory. And I love this. I love it. I do. U.S. Border Patrol has 2 illegal aliens, got him by the collar of the shirt, and he's just walking them towards a holding area. Okay, pause. If you're watching on Super Talk TV, you may notice that the truck he's walking these 2 illegal aliens to is a big yellow Penske truck. Okay? Big yellow Penske truck. Well, that's an issue. That's an issue. The guys over at Penske are very bothered by this. Very bothered. They don't want their trucks being used for immigration enforcement. So they pen a strongly worded tweet. You ready for this? I'm going to put the tweet on the screen just so you can see it. Just so you know I'm not faking this, okay? This is the dumbest thing I've ever seen. This is the dumbest thing I've ever seen. So what they should have done was nothing. Absolutely nothing. What Penske Transportation Solutions chose to do was say, Penske Truck Rental is aware of recent reports and videos regarding a Department of Homeland Security operation in Los Angeles. You know what? You know what this needs? It needs sad violin. Can you do that for me? Can you do that? I'll start from the jump. Penske Truck Rental is aware of recent reports and videos regarding a Department of Homeland Security operation in Los Angeles. Penske strictly prohibits the transportation of people in the cargo area of its vehicles under any circumstances. The company was not made aware that its trucks would be used in today's operation and did not authorize this. Penske will reach out to DHS and reinforce its policy to avoid improper use of its vehicles in the future. Oh, got it. All right, you can cut that. They needed the sad violin, though. So first off, I just want to say, Penske, enjoy your impending boycott. I don't know about you. Maybe it's just my assumption. My assumption is that conservatives would rent your trucks a lot more than liberals. My assumption is that there's a lot of other options out there, right? We could go to, I don't know, U-Haul. U-Haul is my go-to. They're based. I don't know. Maybe I've told this story on air before. We did my daughter a couple years back. I think she was 1st or 2nd grade when the Mississippi water crisis was happening. This is before I even worked at SuperTalk. Mississippi water crisis was happening, and they did a school project. They got a bunch of bottles of water, right? Like tons. And we were going to, I volunteered to drive it down to Mississippi to donate it to this church. And so that's what we were going to do. U-Haul gave us the truck for free, completely based. It was the one in Rutherford on Memorial. Awesome guys. Like once they found out what we were doing, they were like, yeah, just take the truck. pay for the gas, bring it back full, and you're good to go. Like, U-Haul is based. I don't think U-Haul would send out a strongly worded tweet. I just don't. So Penske has to understand that there are other options available. And when you piss off half the country with this, it gets pretty bad. Now, their response, again, comes after footage emerged showing DHS agents using a Penske box truck during an enforcement operation to target illegal aliens. The operation was 7 a.m. yesterday morning near a Home Depot in Los Angeles. DHS officials told Fox News that an MS-13 gang had a hold on the area, which is why the raid was carried out at that specific location. 16 individuals were taken into custody. Penske truck has an issue with ICE getting MS-13 off the streets. Now, here's the kicker. You want to know what the kicker is? They'll put out a statement for that. But back in April of 2023, when a Penske truck was found to be used to smuggle in 58 migrants, Penske was silent. There was no strongly worded tweet. Penske truck had nothing to say about that. I'm sorry, I don't know. If I go back to the statement from from Penske truck about the DHS operation, they said that they're going to reinforce the policy because they strictly prohibit transportation of people in the cargo area. That's weird. 58 migrants were crammed in the cargo area for human smuggling. It was human trafficking. Penske didn't say a damn thing. But when you use one of those trucks to get the illegal aliens out who are doing the human trafficking, all of a sudden, Penske has a problem. Enjoy your boycott. Enjoy it, please. How soon until we see Penske just absolutely plummet? I think it's going to happen overnight. I really do. This is an egregious misstep by Penske. DHS fired back on X, posting that story, the 58 migrants crammed inside a Penske truck, saying, care to remind the American people what Penske said when this happened? Silence speaks volumes. DHS added the brave agents of ICE and CBP will continue carrying out their mission to protect Americans. With or without you, Penske, with or without. Again, it was 2023. Texas Department of Public Safety found 58 migrants crammed into the back of a Penske truck. The driver was an illegal alien from Mexico and was arrested for human smuggling charges. Penske didn't say a damn thing. Not a damn thing. Nothing. Radio silence. Radio silence. Radio silence. But when we want to get these monsters, these animals, these gang members, these terrorists out of the country, and ICE uses one of your box trucks, that's the issue. That's the issue. Now, granted, in 2023, nobody was going to cover this because Joe Biden was still in office. The mainstream media was covering for them, and they were going to make it as silent as possible. I think one of the only outlets that covered it was Fox News, actually. But users on social media were blasting them. Jack Posobiec said, is this you? And he posted a photo of Roger Penske receiving a Presidential Medal of Freedom from one Donald Trump. Yeah, didn't have an issue then. Insane. Penske Trucks deserves a boycott that makes Bud Light look like child's play. ICE and CBP are out there trying to make our streets safer. What the hell kind of statement was this? They got 16 MS-13 gang members off the street. The right move was to say nothing. Nobody would have blamed Penske. The left wouldn't have blamed Penske. The right wouldn't have brought up Penske. But Penske said, you know what I want to do today? I want to wake up and I want to put a bullseye on my company. And they did effectively that. With this statement, you're going to see sales plummet. Conservatives are going to choose another option. And I say good. Completely ridiculous. Completely ridiculous. You're mad when ICE uses a truck to get MS-13 gang members off the street. You say nothing when illegal aliens are using your truck to human traffic. Got it? Got it. 10:51. This is Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hey, what's up? It's Chris Hand here for my friend Shane Ring over at Cover Nash, and they're going to make health insurance simple for you. I know. It doesn't seem like it should be a simple topic, but this is why Shane Ring is such a valuable asset. If you're tired of health insurance that feels like a math test, confusing percentages, surprise bills, fine print that bites back, well, you got to make it simple. You got to call Cover Nash. Cover Nash has a brand new nationwide PPO plan that will give you the freedom to pick your own doctor anywhere in the U.S. with no referrals and no red tape. And this isn't an Obama-esque promise. Trust me. You're going to get just a $250 deductible, a flat $50 copay for any doctor, even specialists. Outpatient surgeries, $250. Hospital stays, just $1,000. Free preventative care, colonoscopies, mammograms, physicals because it's ACA compliant. And here's the kicker: no surprise bills, no hidden fees, just real protection. Call Cover Nash today, 615-465-0023. You don't have to wait for open enrollment to call today and start saving money. 615-465-0023. Find them online, covernash.com.
6th District Congressman John Rose and 2026 gubernatorial candidate has clarified his stance on marijuana. We'll run that for you coming up at 11 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
I got so many texts yesterday saying John Rose tanked his campaign with his marijuana take.
Really?
Yeah, so many. So many. And I was like, I got people even mad at me about it. Like, I just asked him the question. I just asked him a question. If you missed our interview with John Rose yesterday, it is available on the YouTube page. Listen, he stood on business. He didn't change his stance based on people berating him on the text line, which I told him. I said, you're getting hammered, brother.
Yeah.
You're getting hammered on the text line.
When you did that.
He gave me, really? Yeah, you are. You are. Somebody said to me, it's 2025, bro. John Rose wants marijuana illegal and fluoride in the water. Get with the times. And I said, oh, damn. Damn. I like John. I do. I think he's a nice guy.
He seems like a really nice guy.
He was a great interview, and he answered any question that was thrown his way. If you missed the interview, it's on demand on the podcast page. It's also on the YouTube page. Just search for 99.7 WTN. And thank you to the congressman for coming in.
Yes, sir.
It would be so much easier for him not to take questions from you guys.
Sure.
It would be the easier move. But he said, no, send him in. I don't care what they ask. Based. Yeah. And that takes courage, man. That takes some cojones. And he did it. So
accountability, man.
That's what we want. That's all we want. Accountability and a little transparency goes a long way. John Rose was here for that. If you missed the interview, again, it's on the YouTube page. Real quick, Mark, who's driving around, wants to talk about Penske. What's up, Mark?
Hey, Chris. I just think you're a little off target on your comments with Penske.
Why's that?
I just feel like Penske's trying to cover their butt. They have to have insurance in order to operate. It's clearly illegal to transport people in a cargo van.
So why didn't they make a statement when 53 migrants were caught in one of the Penske trucks? 58 illegal aliens were caught crammed in a Penske truck in an alleged human smuggling operation in 2023?
Because they didn't have to. That's clearly illegal, and they didn't have to stick their nose in that, so they kept quiet.
So, okay. Got it.
And ICE is using this as a legal means of transportation, and it says in their documentation that they don't want people being transported in their vans. And they're just covering their butt. They want to stay in business. They can't.
I wish him the best of luck for staying in business after issuing that statement, because I don't see any conservatives going out of their way to rent a Penske truck moving forward. It wasn't just 2023 when they had 58 migrants crammed in a Penske truck in a human smuggling operation. A listener sent me this. 2024, Penske truck used in smuggling attempt of 9 migrants. No statement there either. They're covering their butt for insurance. Maybe. The smart move would have been to say nothing. Nothing at all. That's the smart move. I couldn't see any reality where an insurance company is going to cancel on Penske because DHS was using their truck improperly. I just don't see that as a realistic option. Maybe I'm wrong. I could be. It's 11:01. This is Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Eleven o'clock on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got the full forecast in 5 minutes. And right now in Tennessee, 6th District Congressman and 2026 gubernatorial candidate John Rose called into the WTN's Dan Mandis show this morning to clarify his stance on marijuana. It's still no to legal recreational or decriminalization, but yes to medicinal.
There are those who swear by, the medical benefits that they've received. Pain killing and other things. And so, we have been doing this for literally hundreds of years. We've been identifying substances and extracting the materials or the active ingredients that are useful, and we can do that with marijuana.
Congressman Rose, one of 3 Republicans seeking to become governor in 2026. That includes senior U.S. Senator Marsha Blackburn and Cito Pellegra. Accused Tennessee family killer Austin Drummond appeared in court via video for his arraignment this morning. During the appearance, it was announced the state intends to seek the death penalty in the case. Meanwhile, people in Jackson still traumatized, where Drummond was captured after a days-long manhunt.
This guy, if he would do that, there's no telling what he would do. If he's cold-blooded, killed 4 people, he's carrying a rifle, he probably wouldn't hesitate to do it again.
That's on Channel 4. Drummond currently being held without bond. His next court appearance is August 14th. And if President Trump thought firing number crunchers at the Bureau of Labor Statistics would yield more positive results, he might have been mistaken. The latest look at weekly claims for unemployment benefits finds 226,000 filings in the week leading up to August 2nd. That's an increase of 7,000 from the week before. In all, 1.9 million Americans are getting benefits, 38,000 more than the last week of July. And 2 months into the 2025 hurricane season, the Atlantic Ocean has spawned 4 tropical storms, only one of which made a U.S. landfall. But ABC's Jim Ryan says government meteorologists are standing behind their predictions of an active season.
The National Weather Service still expects to see 13 to 18 named storms before the end of the hurricane season, November 30th, including as many as 9 hurricanes and 2 to 5 major hurricanes. The agency acknowledges that the season has gotten off to a slow start, with Tropical Storm Andrea taking shape June 24th, and Tropical Storm Dexter is now in the North Atlantic and moving away from the U.S. mainland. A new disturbance is taking shape off the coast of Africa, with a 60% chance of becoming a cyclone in the next 7 days. Jim Ryan, ABC News.
That's the latest news. Weather is next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
It's 11:06, Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hey, how are you? It's Chris Hand. Show's brought to you by Better Water LLC. Water filtration systems, water softeners. You get those at betterwater.com. You can listen to us anywhere, iHeartRadio, tune in, the FM dial, all the podcasts, Apple and Spotify. You can watch us, Super Talk TV. We're on Facebook, Twitter, True Social, what else? YouTube, Rumble, all the things. Twitch. Hit like, hit subscribe, share the show with your friends. Appreciate it. when you do so. We do get a lot to get to still. I mean, I feel like we're always behind the eight ball because the news cycle moves so incredibly fast. Real quick, just an update on the Trump economy and what's coming to Kentucky. Kentucky. Well, spoiler alert. It's Apple. Apple is coming to Kentucky. Andy Bashir has been saying nice things about Trump and his FEMA response, and I do have a feeling that Andy Bashir is going to have even more nice things to say about Donald Trump after this announcement in the White House yesterday, where Trump was with Apple CEO Steve Cook, and they announced a $600 billion with a B, investment in the United States over the next 4 years, with a huge chunk of that going to the bluegrass state.
Today, Apple is announcing that it will invest $600 billion, that's with a B, in the United States over the next 4 years. That's $100 billion more than they were originally going to invest. And this is the largest investment Apple has ever made in America and anywhere else. And it's just an honor to have you. As you know, Apple's been an investor in other countries a little bit. I won't say which ones, but a couple. And they're coming home. $600 billion. It's the biggest there is. The company is also unveiling its ambitious new American manufacturing program, which will bring factories and assembly lines across our country, all roaring to life. Areas that were not doing so well are doing very well. We have about $17 trillion coming into the United States, which is more than ever before. That's never even come close.
I mean, it is insane when you think about the amount of investment that has come into America in just, this is the 200th day of the Trump administration. This is day 200. He's gotten $17 trillion worth of investments. The seeds are planted. We have yet to see the fruit. You know, we talked about the job numbers last week, and they were But golly, imagine what the job numbers are going to look like in November, December, January. Once these factories are up and running, it's going to be insane. It's going to revitalize the middle class. It's going to bring some of these communities who had been destroyed by terrible deals like NAFTA back to life. I mean, you're seeing it all over the country. We're seeing it just to the north of us in Kentucky.
There's never been anything like it. Even you, that's even a lot of money for you. But we have commitments of more than $17 trillion. That was as of a couple of weeks ago. These investments will directly create more than 20,000 brand new American jobs and many thousands more at the Apple suppliers like Corning, Broadcom, Texas Instruments, and Samsung, who all deal in that world. As part of this historic commitment, Apple will massively increase spending on its domestic supply chain for the iPhone and will build the largest and most sophisticated smart glass production line in the world in Harrodsburg, Kentucky, which is actually, I did very well there. I like it because I see I did very well there.
I mean, the governor of Kentucky, he's got to be over the moon, right? 20,000 new jobs. 20,000 new jobs? I mean, again, you look at the job numbers report that we just got, 73,000. This is just one piece of the investment that Donald Trump has gotten to America. And it's going to create 20,000 jobs. Insane. When we start seeing the fruit from this tree, I don't know how anybody is going to argue against the Donald Trump economic plan. How could you? I mean, you're currently seeing Donald Trump revitalize so many different aspects of the U.S. government. And again, just a couple days ago, Andy Bashir is on a podcast, and Andy Bashir, the governor of Kentucky, was singing Donald Trump's praises because of how he's reformed FEMA in just 200 days.
And I think the American people would agree that the federal government being there for you at your darkest moment, where through no fault of your own, a hurricane, a tornado, flooding has torn through your communities. Yeah. And the irony of all of it, to me, is Trump's FEMA on the ground has done a good job in Kentucky.
Yeah.
They have bettered their customer service. We're not getting nearly as many complaints. They're getting a lot of money through individual assistance out to families, especially after flooding. It's actually a credit to his administration, and it seems to be the thing that they want to undo or unwind. Hopefully, him seeing it personally.
I hope so.
Has an emotional impact. But
singing Donald Trump's praises over how they're handling FEMA. Now, I don't know about you, but when I hear a Democrat singing Donald Trump's praises, I do a double take and I start wondering why. And I kind of came to maybe a bit of a realization. They're probably going to run Andy Beshear for president, aren't they? They probably are. He's a Democrat governor in a solid red state, a state that went for Trump. He's not bashing Trump overtly, maybe behind closed doors, and he said some things here and there. But he's given him credit where credit is due, and that's something that a lot of Democrats can't bring themselves to do. So I find myself thinking there must be an ulterior motive. And when you see guys like Gavin Newsom being like, oh, it's unfair to have boys and girls sports, and you see the more sane takes from the left, it always seems to be from somebody who wants to run for president. And I do wonder if they're going to try and run Beshear. I feel like out of all the candidates that they could run, the left, he's probably one of the better ones. He's probably one of the stronger ones. He doesn't come with a lot of the baggage that a lot of Democrats do. And after he sings Donald Trump's praises on FEMA, I'm sure he's going to be singing Donald Trump's praises on what has transpired with Apple and the jobs that are coming to Kentucky. While they were doing the press conference, they talked about the glass that's going to be made. So it's going to be all the glass for your iPhone and for your Apple Watches that are going to be made in Kentucky, which is unbelievable. And Steve Cook presented Donald Trump with a little trophy kind of thing, a little trophy piece of glass. Listen to this.
Do you mind if I step up?
Yes, please.
This vine was made here in the U.S., California, and this glass comes off the Corning line. It's engraved for President Trump. It's a unique unit of one. It was designed by a U.S. Marine Corps corporal, a former one, that works at Apple now.
That's good. He's done well.
Designed it for you. And the base comes from Utah and is 24 karat gold. And it sits, I'll take the liberty of setting it up.
Wow.
Well, let's see. There we go. Congratulations,
Thank you
Mr. President. Thank you so much.
The great people of Kentucky.
It's a big deal for Kentucky. And I don't know if you noticed, but in between Steve Cook presenting him with that trophy, if you listen closely, you could hear him puckering up to kiss Donald Trump's rump. It was subtle. It was subtle, but you could hear it if you listen close. It's a yes, sir, Mr. President. That's what it was. We got you this trophy, Mr. President.
Kissing Trump's rump.
I mean, what a timeline we live in. And they increased the investment by about $100 billion. So it's going to be $600 billion over the next 4 years. That's $150 billion invested yearly. Wow. Wow. And people still say that this guy doesn't know what he's doing. Donald Trump is a madman. He's got no plan. The tariffs are going to ruin everything, they tell us. Do you remember that? Oh, the tariffs are ruining everything as these companies bring their factories back to America en masse. Oh, the tariffs are going to ruin everything. Yeah, we've heard that so many different times, to the point where the left was essentially rooting for the American economy to fail just so they could look at Donald Trump and say, we told you so. We told you so. Yet, despite all their rooting for America to fail, it seems like the markets are doing gangbusters, and Donald Trump continues to bring investment after investment after investment into this country. Also, fun fact, the Trump administration just launched a new push for nuclear energy, and it's a U.S. company in Tennessee that is going to be now producing commercial fuel for nuclear reactors. So we're not just seeing this investment happen here in Kentucky, we're also seeing it happen right here in the volunteer state as well. This news broke this morning about the nuclear reactors on Fox Business. Listen to this.
I mean, we've heard us talk about before bringing uranium enrichment back to the United States, but after you enrich uranium, you need to turn it into a form that can be used as fuel in nuclear reactors. So we just announced the first licensing we're going to do to a Tennessee-based company to scale up from bench scale to producing commercial fuel for nuclear reactors. Yeah, part of President Trump's effort to relaunch the American nuclear industry.
I mean, that's huge. That's huge for Tennessee. Again, that comes from Chris Wright. He's our U.S. Energy Secretary. That money is going to be coming right here to Tennessee, and it's huge. It's absolutely huge. But they tell us that Donald Trump's marketing, his economic plan is going to ruin everything. It's not going to work. The economy is going to crash. The economy is going to stall. We're going to have a recession, yada, yada, yada. Over and over and over again with the same old song. And it never happens. It never happens. Weird. During that press conference with Apple, they actually talked about big balls. And this was a story that broke a couple days ago. And we didn't have a chance to cover it yesterday. We had Rose in and we had Jody Barrett in. So we kind of got dominated by interviews yesterday and local stuff. But this is a big story. And I'll tell you what, as my family is in D.C., doing all these tours of the state capitals, my wife and my kids, and I see this story about big balls, I'm like, man, did I make a mistake sending them there without me? They're back home safe now. But I'll tell you what, that thought ran through my mind because what happened at Big Balls was insane. Absolutely insane. He was assaulted by 8 youths, if you will, in D.C. He saw these individuals attacking a woman, and Big Balls did exactly what his nickname said he would do. He ran towards danger, and he was brutally assaulted by this group, but he saved the woman. Donald Trump addressed it in the White House.
Are you considering taking over the D.C. police? Is that an option on the table?
We're considering it, yeah, because the crime is ridiculous. I could show you a chart comparing D.C. to other locations, and you're not going to want to see what it looks like. It was just up on television, actually. They were showing it. Now, we want to have a great, safe capital, and we're going to have it. And that includes cleanliness and it includes other things. We have a capital that's very unsafe. You know, we just almost lost a young man, beautiful, handsome guy that got the hell knocked out of him the night before last. And I'm going to call him now. We wanted to give him a little recovery time. We just put a call into him. They're calling back in a little while, but he went through a bad situation, to put it mildly, and there's too much of it. We're gonna do something about it. So whether you call it federalized or what, and that also includes the graffiti that you see, the papers all over the place, the roads that are in bad shape, the medians that are falling down, the median in between roads that's falling down. We're gonna beautify the city. We're gonna make it beautiful.
D.C.'s falling apart. Crime is just one aspect of it, says Donald Trump, but he's going to give Big Balls a call. And he said he got the hell knocked out of him. If you're watching on Super Talk TV, we'll put a picture of Big Balls up on the screen. This is in the direct aftermath of the assault. I mean, the kid is bloodied. There's no way around it. He looks like he was lucky to escape with his life. It could have gone much worse for him. But he ran towards danger instead of running away from danger. Donald Trump says maybe we federalize the city. Maybe. Elon backs Donald Trump on federalizing the city. Elon also came up during that meeting with Steve Cook in the White House where they announced all those jobs coming to Kentucky via Apple. And Trump didn't have anything bad to say about Elon, who I guess there's new polling out there that he's the most hated man in America.
I'm wondering, do you miss having him around the White House, or is that poll accurate?
I love the question. Do you miss having him around? Instantly, I don't know if it's just you, if it's just me. It's probably just me because I'm weird. But instantly, I heard Charlie Puth. It's been a long day without you, my friend. Instantly, from the moment I heard it. Maybe I'm just damaged by the news cycle and my brain is all messed up. Is that a sign of PTSD? I don't know. But this is Trump's comments on Elon.
I don't know if the poll's accurate. I think he's a good person. I think he had a bad moment, really bad moment. But he's a good person.
I think Trump is giving a very good response to that. Why reignite the beef? There was also stories that Elon was donating to Trump super PACs and Republicans and conservatives even after the beef started. But do we federalize major blue cities? I mean, listen, I think that D.C. you can make the argument for, but I think you can make the argument for quite a few cities. Now, how it works in practice. I mean, I'm not the guy to explain that, but you look at some of these cities, Chicago, Philadelphia, Los Angeles, the crime, the rampant drug use, Seattle, Portland. What could get worse if we sent in federal troops to restore order? I don't think anything could. I think it could be one of the only things that could save some of these big cities. Would you be for that or would you be against that? 615-737-9986. We got a lot more on the way, up to and including the lightning round. It's 11:22. This is Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Well, a South Nashville business is padlocked and police are all over it. We'll tell you about it at 11:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Okay, tell the audience about it later, but can you tell me about it now? Because I'm very curious.
Well, maybe if we talk quietly.
I'm going to lean in, all right?
Nobody will hear.
Just whisper it, kid. Headlines on the way at 11:30. My name's Chris Hand. It's Super Talk 99.7 WTN. We got a lot of stories to get to, man. A lot. So we were talking about big balls. Did you see what Judge Jeanine Judge Janine went off about it. She went off for like 3 minutes. I don't have enough time to play it all. She was very upset. Very upset. This is somebody I wouldn't want to make upset would be one Judge Janine. I wouldn't want to make her upset. But we do. There's so much going on in America right now, and it's just been absolutely bananas. We do have the governor's race still happening in Tennessee. It's officially a 2-horse race now. Who's the third guy? Exactly. So it's Blackburn versus Rose. Polling came out, and it does show Blackburn off to a substantial lead. And I think that everybody kind of predicted that. John Rose came on the show, said he's more conservative than her. The big differentiator is that he objected to the 2020 election results. Marsha Blackburn did not. And that's been a point of contention for this audience with one Marsha Blackburn for years. Dave in Tennessee's been hanging on the line. He wants to talk about John Rose. Dave, I appreciate you holding, man. What do you got?
Hey, thanks for taking it. Yeah, you may be a little twisted, but that's what makes the show so good.
I appreciate it. Thanks.
Yeah. Okay. One quick thing about Penske. If they want to be so policy correct, how do they rent their trucks to illegals with no driver's license?
Based.
Just a thought.
Yeah, let them know. Let them know. What do you got on John Rose?
Okay. Yeah, I was going along good with him, and he was sounding good up to the point when you asked him that if the bill came through all the process and got on his desk, would he sign it or veto it? And he said, I'd absolutely veto it. When I tried getting in yesterday, but I didn't make it, I was going to ask, well, why would I vote for you if you're not going to do what the majority of the people want? That's my whole thing right there.
That's been a big point of contention, Dave. It's not just you, man. And I appreciate the call. As always, 615-737-9986, 615-737-9986. A lot of people say it's not the weed issue. Like there's people out there that aren't for legalization. But they said the thing that rubbed them the wrong way was if it went through the legislative body and it landed on his desk and it was passed into law, he would veto it. He wouldn't sign it. I said that's a huge point of contention because you're subverting the will of the people. I do respect Congressman Rose for standing his ground on his take. I do. I think he's wrong. Again, one listener was joking around and said, guys, it's 2025. John Rose is in favor of fluoride, but he's against marijuana. What's going on? Yeah, I get that too. If you missed the interview with Congressman Rose yesterday, it's available on YouTube. Hit like and subscribe while you're there. Also on YouTube, Saturday morning, we have a brand new episode of Mostly Peaceful with Dan and Chris. Dan is bringing a piece of hate mail with him that honestly, it scares me. I read it and he goes, yeah, do you get hate mail like this? And I said, I don't.
Goodness.
I'm actually nervous that you get letters like this.
Wow. I'm really interested to see this episode.
The email that Dan has, I don't want to spoil it, but it is the craziest email I've ever seen. I said, okay, but that's the only one, right? And he goes, no, that's the only one today. What? We're going to dive into some hate mail. We're going to talk about it on the podcast. It's going to be everywhere on Saturday morning, 6 a.m. Get ready for that. Mostly Peaceful on the way. Also on the way, you know what button you need to hit, right?
I think I do.
We got the lightning round. And that's up next after Ken Weaver's headlines, which start right now.
.30 on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got the full forecast in 5 minutes. Well, right now in Nashville, a South Nashville restaurant has a padlock on it because police say the bar has been deemed a public nuisance.
We've made numerous contacts with the owners and management at this location, telling them our concerns for the location, advising them that if things don't change, that we're going to have to take further routes. And there's just been no change.
Yeah, moments ago, this was Channel 4's Jordan James. They're on the scene, the 404 Bar and Grill.
Multiple officers are now inside of that business removing evidence. As you can see right now, that officer has a TV and is in the process of loading it in the back of a U-Haul. The site that you see comes after over 5 years of crimes being reported connected to the business, such as assaults and shootings. Metro Police say they have been called out more than 120 times, which has really drained their resources.
Yeah, so far, police there on the scene say they've recovered what they say are 15 gambling machines, also body armor. The owners have a hearing next week, and until then, the 404 Bar and Grill will remain closed. Charges have been filed against the boyfriend of a woman who was found in a burning refrigerator on the side of the road in Overton County. Edward Randolph faces first-degree murder and abuse of a corpse charges. His girlfriend's body, identified as 47-year-old Hope Parrott, found inside that refrigerator on July 31st. Investigators are claiming Randolph killed Parrott, transported her body in a refrigerator, then set it off on the side of a road and set it on fire. He was booked into the Overton County Jail on a $50 million bond.
My gosh, Ken. That's a wild story.
That is a very wild story. And that bond, I don't think you're going to pay that bond.
No, he's not getting out anytime soon.
I think that's a $500,000 bond. I think that might be a typo.
Well, it's 10%, right?
Yeah.
So he would need, if it's
50 million,
he needs 500,000.
Yeah. That's steep. And that's the latest news. Weather's next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
Hey, what's up? It's Chris Hand here for my friends at the Wellness Institute of Nashville. I love Dr. Ashley. I love Dr. Mitch. They're the best. And if you're dealing with back pain, neck pain, knee pain, and it's ruining your life, you need to call them today because the Big Daddy Trump special is here for you. What is the BDT? Well, it's just $12, and that will get you a full exam, x-rays if needed, a well-explained diagnosis, and your first treatment. All of that for only $12. You're not going to find a deal like this anywhere else. Dr. Mitchell and Dr. Ashley aren't going to give up on you and finding a solution to your pain, just like Donald Trump never gave up on America. Their patients say it all the time. Why didn't I come see you guys first? Don't let that be what you say to them. Go to them first. Whether it's back pain, neck pain, sciatica, numbness, bulging discs, they'll treat it all with non-surgical spinal decompression, robot lasers, and even anti-gravity machines. What you're not going to find is surgery, injections, painkillers. Grab your MRI. Get ready to finally understand your condition and fix it. 615-246-5009. That's 615-246-5009 for the Wellness Institute of Nashville. Online at painisbad.com.
Weather can change in an instant. and you need to be prepared for any outcome. That's why Generator Supercenter of Nashville will help keep your family safe and connected. We make buying a backup generator simple and easy, with financing options available, free in-home estimate, turnkey installations, no worry warranty, and most importantly, the monitoring and service of your fully installed generator. Come see us at our location in Nashville or visit us online. Generator Supercenter of Nashville. We serve all Middle Tennessee.
It's 11:37. This is Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hey, how are you? I'm Chris Hand. Find me on True Social, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Is that all of them? I think that's all of them. All of them are the same. At Chris Hand on air.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
At Chris Hand on air.
Did you say Rumble?
Well, that's for the show. I'm not. I technically am on Rumble.
Oh, I got you.
But I haven't been posting it yet.
Oh, I got you. Okay.
The station's on Rumble, and you can watch us anywhere: Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, Rumble. We got a big partnership with Rumble.
Dude, I'm excited.
I know. I'm gonna go talk to
cool.
I'm gonna go talk to the boss about it.
All right.
I want front page.
I think we could do it.
I think we can do it too.
And tell him we want tacos on Tuesday.
What do you think we have the better chance of getting? Because I'll lead with it.
Probably duly noted.
Without further ado, my friends, it's time for the lightning round.
It's the lightning round with Chris Hand.
We do it every day at this time. We cover all the stories that we missed, stories that wouldn't fill a whole segment, and stories that just make us smile a little bit. They do.
Chris has been hyping up this first one. I'm a little excited.
I'm really excited about this first one. So CBS, they have world's famous scientist Neil deGrasse Tyson on.
Ooh.
So that's where we begin, okay? First story in the lightning round. We got Neil deGrasse Tyson, world-renowned scientist and spaceman and woke leftist, okay? And he's talking about colonizing the moon. Now, I want you to listen to this clip, because if you blink, you're going to miss it, all right? You got to listen not just to Neil deGrasse Tyson, but listen to the host on CBS and the questions they have for our woke astrophysicist.
But if we want to keep growing a population, or if we want to live forever, all right, we're going to need another planet.
So is that the moon? Because I
don't want to live on the moon.
Right? Will it serve as a functional life source eventually for human beings? And B, we know how the age of colonialism worked on this planet. Should we be trying to colonize and saying that there's a keep-out zone that not other countries can participate in having?
Should we colonize the moon because of racism? We know how colonization went on this planet. I mean, it went pretty good for a while there. Pretty good. You know, the English were colonizing everywhere, and then when the English pulled back, a lot of those colonized places completely fell apart. But should we colonize the moon because of space racism?
Space racism.
Spacism. I wanted to call it spacism.
I'm glad you gave the preface first. It's like, okay.
I felt like I had to give the preface first, but he's worried. He's worried about spacism.
Saying that there's a keep-out zone that not other countries can participate in having.
We know how colonialism worked on this planet, he says.
Of course, eventually for human beings. And B, we know how the age of colonialism worked on this planet.
Like, dude, you live in America. Shut up. Like, you're in the richest country in the world. You're a host on TV. You live the good life. You are benefiting from colonialism, my man. Sorry. That's all I got there. But I got another story for you here in the lightning round. You were real slow on that lightning.
Gotta keep people on their toes, man.
Lightning is supposed to be fast.
It's supposed to be fast, but if the storm's moving away,
the storm's not moving away.
Here.
The storm's rolling in.
It's rolling in. I was slow.
The storm's rolling in. All right. Don't worry. Mason was sick yesterday.
Yes, sir.
He's
back to my regular high self today.
He's getting back to full strength. He's a little stoned.
A little bit.
Don't tell John Rose.
Don't let him know. Mason's a little stoned.
Don't tell John. Okay. Please.
Keep it away.
All right, another story for you in the lightning round. Howard Stern is being canceled by Sirius XM. I'm a little sad. I haven't listened to him in years. And apparently nobody else has either.
Did you see his paycheck?
He's making $100 million a year.
Nuts.
He killed satellite radio single-handedly with that salary.
Oh, it doesn't surprise me at all.
After nearly 2 decades as the marquee talent at SiriusXM, Howard Stern may be signing off for good. Sources told the U.S. Sun that the groundbreaking broadcaster is not expected to return when his current 5-year contract expires this fall. Sirius and Stern are never going to meet on the money he's going to want, one source told The Sun, adding it's no longer worth the investment to keep paying the reported $100 million a year salary. Howard Stern fell off, and I like him. I like as a radio guy, like just when you're diving into like radio formatics, and I know this might be too much inside baseball, you can learn a lot from listening to Stern. And I learned a lot listening to Stern interviews. And one of the things that I always thought was great with a Stern interview was he was always on equal playing field with whoever he was interviewing, and he was never afraid to ask hard questions, and I thought he was a great interviewer. That being said, when Howard Stern lost that line, the line in the sand that is drawn by the FCC that you're allowed to walk right up to and look over, and then you got to take a step back, I felt like he lost his edge, and I felt like he stopped being funny. Now, Donald Trump was asked about this, and Trump said he knows exactly when Howard Stern lost his edge, and he actually disagrees with me. He doesn't think it was when he went over to SiriusXM. Donald Trump highlighted a different date of when Howard Stern lost his edge.
I've got an entertainment-based question for you. A few weeks ago, Stephen Colbert announced that he was leaving his show. Howard Stern announced that he and Sirius XM Radio are parting ways. Do you think the hate Trump business model that's been in the entertainment business is going out of business because it's not popular with the American people?
Well, it hasn't worked, and it hasn't worked really for a long time, and I would say pretty much from the beginning. Colbert has no talent. I mean, I could take anybody here. I could go outside in the beautiful streets and pick up a couple of people that do just as well or better. They get higher ratings than he did. He's got no talent. Fallon has no talent. Kimmel has no talent. They're next. They're going to be going. I hear they're going to be going. I don't know, but I would imagine because they get, Colbert has better ratings than Kimmel or Fallon. You know that. Howard Stern, it's a name I haven't heard. I used to do a show. We used to have fun. But I haven't heard that name in a long time. What happened? He got terminated?
Yeah, they're going to separate ways because I think what they're offering salary-wise is real low for what he's getting.
You know when he went down?
Whenever you want.
You know when he went down? No, before. When he endorsed Hillary Clinton, he lost his audience. Right. People said, give me a break. He went.
Yeah, he's not wrong. He also lost his audience when he went absolutely lunatic during COVID. Didn't he hide in his house for 2 years?
I think so.
It was like the lockdowns had long ended, and Howard's like, nah, not for me, bro. I'm going to wait this one out.
Yeah, I think he got too comfortable being by himself, and I think that
it really broke him.
It was a deficit.
It really broke him. I mean, at the end of the day, nothing of value was lost, so there's that. Hey, fun fact, if you're watching on the YouTube stream, we have Monica Page on every Friday.
Yeah.
If you're watching on the YouTube stream, you'll see this little guy right here. Not a little guy, he's a grown man. I don't know why I said little guy. See the little guy in the front. You see this grown man right here with the red hair and the glasses. That's Monica Page's husband.
Ooh.
Yeah, he's also a White House reporter.
That's cool.
I believe he's with OAN or Newsmax. He's with one of those outlets. Whole family down there at the White House. And Monica Page will be joining us tomorrow.
Let's go.
Live from the White House North Lawn at 10 a.m. to talk about the developments. But real quick, got another story for you here in the lightning round. Nature, guys, nature's been healing. We talked about Donald Trump pushing back the woke mind virus, and he strikes again. This announcement coming from one Pete Hegseth. You remember all the statues that got taken down, ripped down by protesters, and or voted out, removed by the woke administration that came before 47? We saw it happening way too much. I mean, Charlottesville, Virginia, they took down a statue of Lewis and Clark because of Sacagawea. It was ridiculous. It got way too ridiculous. Well, I have an update for you. Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth has announced the return of Moses Jacob Ezekiel's gravesite statue in the Arlington Cemetery that was ripped down by Lloyd Austin under Biden in 2023, saying it never should have been taken down by woke lemmings. Unlike the left, we don't believe in erasing American history. We honor it. Now, it was called the Reconciliation Monument, located near his burial site. Lloyd Austin took it down because of racism. It's also known as the Confederate Memorial. They didn't want to honor the spirit of what the memorial was, reuniting the country. They wanted to highlight racism, so they took it down. Also, if you're watching on the YouTube stream, you're seeing protesters during the Summer of Love take down a statue of Albert Pike in D.C. It's been announced that the Trump administration and the National Service will reinstall that statue of Albert Pike in D.C. after it was ripped down by rioters in 2020. Albert Pike's memorial, it's the only outdoor Confederate statue of a general in the entire city of Washington, D.C. It's since been gone since Summer of Love. It is coming back. It was June 19th, 2020, when George Floyd, peaceful protesters, took it down. Yep. You remember when they were taking down statues, and there was that one statue that they took down? I don't remember what city it was, but they ripped it down with chains. And the statue landed on some guy and killed him.
Oh, really?
You don't remember that?
No, I don't. It's been a while.
That. I don't remember. It has been a while. I don't remember what city it was in, but I remember thinking to myself at the time, play stupid games.
Win stupid prizes.
That's it. All right, got another story for you here in the lightning round. Sorry, just letting the thunder ripple out.
Yeah, I understand.
Sounded good. Congressman Al Green, he's filing more articles of impeachment against Trump. I think at this point you could say the walls are closing in on Donald Trump. Congressman Al Green making the announcement a couple days ago. Oh, hang on one second. I do this often. I play way too many audio pieces, and then there's rioters yelling, and I want to listen to Al Green yell. It's I like the yelling, but one at a time, please. Al Green on Donald Trump and why he's filing articles of impeachment again.
He's going to be brought down. He's going to be brought down. He has to be brought down. And I don't mean physically. I'm talking about politically. We will bring him down. He will be impeached again.
All right, well, we wish you all the best in your future endeavors. The walls are closing in on Donald Trump, clearly. All right, got another story for you in the lightning round. Ah, man, you were a little bit. I was going to give you grief. I was going to give you some grief. But you recovered quickly.
I'm here. I'm ready.
You recovered quickly. Secretary of State Marco Rubio is officially going to charge new visa applicants $15,000. Yes. I'm a big fan of this. One of the largest factors of illegal immigration is visa overstays. And now we're hearing that if you want to come to this country on a visa, especially if you're from one of these nations with just ridiculous amounts of visa overstays, well, you're going to have to put down $15,000 to enter the country. Yeah, a $15,000 bond. That was announced the other day on Fox News. Bill Malugin has the story.
It's essentially a bond program. What they're talking about doing is if somebody comes into the U.S. on a visa, they put down up to $15,000, and then if they leave the country when they're supposed to, according to that visa, they get the money back. What do you think about this idea?
This is a great program for a couple of reasons. First of all, about 40 to 50% of the illegal aliens in this country are people that overstayed their visas. And there are certain countries that have very high visa overstay rates. So this program is to address those particular countries. The other part of it is also a national security and a public safety issue, because certain countries don't do a very good job vetting people for visas or doing other things to cooperate with us on national security and border security. So this will encourage their compliance. It will also discourage people from trying to remain in the country, gaming the system like many of them were doing during the Biden administration. Just once they came in on a visa, basically, essentially became de facto citizens because the Biden administration had no interest in deporting virtually anybody. So all of these are good reasons to do this. And remember, this doesn't apply to a lot of countries. 41 countries are what's called the visa waiver program, which means you just simply have to have a passport. So if you're one of those countries, it doesn't affect you whatsoever.
So this is really going to be targeted at the countries who have just egregious visa overstays, which is a huge win because we've seen it how many times? You know, woman murdered, drunk driving crash. He came into the country illegally, or he came to the country illegally on a visa, and then he overstayed. We've seen it time and time again. The big question that a lot of people have is this going to hurt tourism? I don't think it will because of the fact that it's only targeting 41 countries. But the question was posed by Bill Malugin during this same segment.
Jonathan, looking at the bigger picture here with countries all around the world, is there any worry that this could maybe depress tourism and some of the revenue that comes with it if people say, hey, I don't want to have to put up thousands of dollars just to enter the U.S.?
Yeah, that's one of the criticisms of this program is it will depress tourism, discourage people, because if they have to come up with $15K just to go in, a lot of people don't have that. But what the Trump administration is doing and what they've been doing entirely during the entire administration is they're always putting public safety and national security first. So they'd rather take that risk and have public safety, national security, and prevent illegal immigration over maybe a small tourism dent.
So is it going to hurt tourism? Probably not. Possibly. Is it still worth it? Abso-freaking-lutely. It's 11:53. This is Super Talk 99.7 WTN. 11:59. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. My name is Chris Hand. The show's brought to you by Better Water LLC. Water filtration systems, water softeners, betterwater.com. Chad Benson's in studio.
.com.
We didn't get to talk yesterday. John Rose stole your time.
I know. I heard he called in today to try to clarify the fact that he still doesn't like weed. Unless, of course, Big Pharma makes it. Does Big Pharma make weed? No, they don't? Okay. Then I don't like it.
I give him credit for coming in here and standing by his positions and answering any questions that the audience has. But one listener said to me, and it nailed it. It's like, dude, it's 2025. You're pro-fluoride.
Yeah.
You're anti-weed.
Mm-hmm.
What are we doing?
Yeah. You're anti something that you can grow in the ground and that people are. Look what's going on in Texas. Yeah, even Abbott's like, I'm not going to sign that thing. That's Texas. And come on, you got to get with it.
I'm not like gangbusters on legalization. But I do think decriminalization makes the most sense.
Yeah.
Just why are we hamstringing probation officers for a dude who had a $20 bag of weed?
There's no reason to.
There's none.
No.
There's none.
No.
And it's like I always joked, as a kid. It's like, hey kids, if you do drugs, it's gonna ruin your life. By the way, we caught you with these drugs, so now we're going to ruin your life.
That's right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Seems
it's so
silly.
stupid. So
silly. Chad's in next. It's 12 o'clock. This is Super Talk 99.7.